pro league, you know, speculations and such. But hey, Doug, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself, which everybody mostly knows you already, but give them a little opener.
Yeah, I'm Dagger Racing. 33 from Indiana. Proud father of a 5-year-old daughter. Um, just love racing, man. Uh, Always been involved with it. My stepdad was a crew chief and worked on a race car team in the ASA series for 20 years, and always followed NASCAR. Was a big Dale Senior fan, and me and my grandpa had season tickets to Michigan. We'd go to both races every year, and so I've always been in love with it. Still am.
Heck yeah. Um,
I
yeah,
like to go fast.
I got into racing as far as watching it, like when Tony Stewart really came in. I didn't get to see Senior and all them. I was still kind of in diapers. But yeah, so I grew up watching Smoke. That's where my name come from. Raced a little bit in real life myself. That's when I really got into racing. So anyways, that's just a short little summary. But we're going to get into this pro league speculation stuff. And Dagger, I want to ask you, what would it mean to you to be in the pro league?
Your
Yeah, I
title on your
noticed it. I
video is
noticed it.
410 sprint
Yeah,
presets. So,
I'm about to fix that.
what would make me? Sorry again. What was the question? Pro league?
Yeah, what would it mean to you to be in the pro league?
Oh, it'd just be an honor, to be with the best guys on here, racing for a championship. That's what we all strive for.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been a long life fan of racing. I'd be proud to represent any team, whether it's Ford, Chevy, Toyota. Wouldn't really bother me. I'm a Chevy guy, but well, you got an opportunity in NASCAR, just like Real Cup guys, you take the opportunity. You don't really ask too many questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd just be a humbling opportunity that I'd really appreciate and I'd take full advantage of. I know I have the drive and the skill set to match anybody in the game, I think. I think I'd represent any team good in positive light.
I agree.
I'm not really sure what else to say.
I agree. A lot of people agree that you probably should have been there in season 1, but that's in the past. We're at season 2, going into season 2 now. The door is open again. And if not season 2, keep grinding and go for season 3. But anyways, with that being said, I'm glad with the next topic we're about to go into. From what I've heard and from what the rule books say, I believe you have to be on a mandatory wheel. Mandatory. So no more controllers and such in the pro league. Obviously, regular leagues, racing offline or online, but in the pro league, from what I'm hearing, you got to be on a wheel. So me personally, I'm glad. Like going back and watching the finale of the pro league race, I'm sitting there on a wheel and the guy next to me or to the right of me or behind me is on controllers, and I just didn't look right to me. I feel like if everybody sitting there would have been on a wheel, I feel like it would have looked so much more, I don't know, professional, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I personally have people tell me, like, they turned it on, the Pro League finale, and turned it off just because they seen people on controllers. And that's 100% truth.
Well, I've been playing games since I was about 10 years old on PC. I started with NASCAR 98, and I was on a wheel then, and I'm on a wheel now. And if I had to play with a controller, I probably wouldn't play NASCAR.
I agree.
It's just the realism of a controller. The realism of a controller, or the wheel versus a controller, is night and day. I mean, I understand that people can't afford a wheel. I get that. But the realistic factor, especially visually, if you're going to watch a live event and they're showing the people racing, you want to see them on a wheel. You don't want to see them on a controller.
Well, sorry about that, guys. Y'all were just a witness to my 2 males in their first fight. Had to break that up. So sorry about that, guys. I promise I'm not holding a dog fight club or nothing like that here. That was unexpected. He's only 9 months old. He's starting to feel like a man now, but sorry about that, guys. So Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dagger.
No, you're good. I was just explaining to them the visual difference of if you're going to watch a pro league style event, and you would rather see the realism of people on a wheel versus a controller, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
And I
agree.
understand. I said when you were trying to break the dogs up how it's
Stop.
understandable that a lot of people probably can't afford a wheel, but there's a lot of good introductory wheels. Like I still use the T150, and I think I paid $150 for it. So I mean, it's a great wheel for the money. I mean, you're not gonna find a better wheel for $150.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like I had the G29. I mean, you've been at my house, you ran it, and I believe that wheel is more expensive than a T150, and a T150 is by far a better wheel. I mean,
Yeah,
and
Smoke
it's,
tried to trade me, and I was like, sorry, bud, ain't gonna happen.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's cheaper ways to get introduction wheels to racing, but you're better off to spend the extra little money and get a T150 or a T300, or if we really got the extra money, go with the Fanatec or something. But I wouldn't really advise it. I think Thrustmaster is good enough. I mean, it gets the job done.
yeah, I agree. So definitely, man, that sucks. These dogs did that. That kind of got me out of my mojo. But anyways,
It's,
we're back in it now. What do you think the expectations of the season 2 pro league are? Do you think it's got to be better than last season for there to be a season 3, or what do you think? What do you think
I
the
think
path they're
with
on now?
motorsports, I think with
Nitro.
Motorsports Network getting involved, they're very serious about it. So I don't see the NASCAR Esports Series going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
But also, with saying that, I think that this season is going to be better regardless. I mean, the first season, it's hard to base it off of because it was the first season.
Yeah.
But I think it's only going to grow. I think it's going to get bigger. I think eventually we're going to get more teams involved. We're going to get more than 14 or however many teams are involved. I think we're going to get more drivers on each platform, and it's just going to grow, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree.
Motorsports Network didn't buy 704 for it to get smaller. They're putting a lot of money into the game, and I expect the games to get better as well.
I agree. I mean, Heat 4 alone from Heat 3, which has been discussed a lot recently, has made big improvements. You know, the physics, I feel like could still be a little better. And we obviously, my number one thing, and we've preached on this, everybody has, is a test and tune online. We need a test and tune online. That is number one need.
I've said it for 4 games.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, that's exactly what we need. It's hard to make a setup when you go online. It's different than offline. I mean,
I
it's just a
agree.
guessing game, really. Another thing that I'd like to see is a weight distribution scale in our setup menu.
Yeah,
I mean, we had that on NASCAR '98 on PC, so I mean, I don't really want to hear excuses we can't do that or it's not capable. You can do it. It's just they got to do it. I mean, if they wanted us to be top notch, they got to give us top notch stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, I agree.
And I'm not
100%.
trying to belittle the gamer. They've done an amazing job. I'm really
Nitro.
impressed with the jump they made from Heat 3 to Heat 4. It was a great improvement, especially the sound. The cars feel a lot heavier, which that's how a stock car should feel. A stock car shouldn't be light. It should be heavy.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to run it wide open every lap either.
No.
So they fixed that. What I would also like to see is the tracks like in real life where they can run it by the wall. I'd like to see more lines of racing, you know, where we can run the middle of a track like Chicago. We can go up to the fence, you know, things like that.
Well, a lot of that is the rubber getting laid on the track. I mean, if
Yeah,
they introduce that to the game, you could be able to get up by that wall, I think.
I
And
agree.
yeah, that would be an awesome addition to the game. I mean, that would, especially if you got a car that's not driving as good, you can kind of get up there and make that difference up a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I agree 100%. And even like, I want to say, is it Project Cars? I think Gran Turismo too. Every time you go from practice to like qualifying to race, the temperature changes every time, like on the track. So I know it can be done on console, you know. So and I think
Yeah, it
that
can
would,
be done.
where
It's
you go
all in the
back to the
engine they
track,
use.
yeah, I agree. So that's that. But number
What
one thing is a test and tune, man. That's my
What do
biggest
you
thing.
think about them putting a full race weekend in for an option? So
That
you
goes
can do
back to
test
the,
one, test
yeah,
two, qualify, another practice, and then
yep.
race. That'd be awesome.
That's how NASCAR '09 was, man, and that was an amazing. The online thing is like, I wish they quit worrying so much about the offline career mode and stuff. I know there's people that play it. You know, keep it good for them. I'm not saying just completely forget about it, but this online stuff could be so much better if you do the race weekend. If you do quick race, or not quick race, but test and tune. If you put a better broadcasting booth in there, make it to where there's a ticker. You know, lap count,
The game
things like
needs more
that.
presentation.
Yeah. So
If you go back and look at a lot of the EA games, every game has presentation. They sing a national anthem or do a pace lap and go through the lineup of the cars, and jets fly over the track, and just little stuff like that goes a long way for the playability of the game long term. You know what I mean? Like, we're all gonna play the game. We love racing. I mean, we're gonna buy it and we're gonna play it.
yeah,
But I think if there's just a bunch of little things that could make the game that much better.
yeah, I agree, 100%. So with that being said, we'll move on to the next one. And this has been a touchy subject. All right, everybody's been coming out with these lists. They've been, you know, people have been getting upset. Heck, I even got upset about being put sixth on Slade's list. But at the same time, it's an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. I'm not saying his opinion's wrong to the next man. It's not facts. Everybody's got opinions, so you got to respect that. But at the same time, if you go back and look at Scott Cole's draft board, for example, that board was wrong in a lot of ways. So, like the guys that
Obviously.
didn't, yeah, the guys that didn't make people's list is like, don't worry about that. I mean, what matters is if you receive an email for that showcase, and that's
Well, it's hard for all these groups to make lists when they don't run with everybody. I mean, every group is going to be biased towards their group. And I mean, that's just the way it is. I
yeah,
mean, they run with those guys and they're friends with those guys every day. And I respect that. I have nothing wrong with that. Their opinion's their opinion. Um, what it only matters what happens on the track. I mean, like, once they all get together in the showcase races and stuff like that, and the cream of the crop will rise. I mean, always does.
yeah,
Everybody has their opinion, and I respect it. I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong or they're right, but you gotta respect what their opinion is, and I do. I mean, I wasn't 20. I was 20th on both Corey's and Slade's lists, and I kind of chuckled, but hey, that's me.
yeah. I agree. There's it just the list. I mean, there's always gonna be lists, always gonna be list, and you just can't really pay it no attention. But
You can't let it affect how you're gonna perform. I mean,
I'll be right back, Dagger. I'm sorry, guys.
you're good. I'll keep the conversation rolling. Yeah, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's all it is, really. It's just a guess from everybody. I mean, even Scott Cole is the head guy, the head commentator. He's had me in the first or second guaranteed lock to get drafted. So I proved that theory wrong. I mean, it was a reality check, but hey, I'm still here, guys. I'm ready to win a couple more showcase races. That's all I can do. Just prove everybody wrong. But and it's gonna be hard. I mean, everybody's making a list, and there's only a handful of spots to open up. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the teams are looking for. I'm pretty curious.
I'm back.
What do you think the teams are looking for with these 5 or 6 spots that are open there, Smith?
I think they're looking for somebody that can get out there and win races. Honestly, I think
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you know, I might not have the best social media. I had a few people comment on me earlier today. Aren't you the guy that trashed the pro league? No, I'm not. I mean, I had a few things to say because I was frustrated that I proved myself in all the showcase races and didn't get an opportunity to go win races. And I'm here to win races. I'm not here to be everybody's best friend. I mean, I'm about the racing. I mean, I made a ton of friends on this game, and I'm more than willing to help anybody that needs help. I mean, I've helped a lot of people on this game when I didn't have to, and I gave them a lot of good setups. But you still got to be able to go out and drive that car.
yeah, I agree. I agree. 100. I mean, honestly, I ain't gonna speak of no names, but there's a couple people in the pro league that we both know was running your setups every race. But if we ask them, they
Yeah.
build all their own stuff. But we're not gonna get into that. I mean, that's not what is here. Just
I mean, I could give them all the setups they want. We still got to drive it.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, like during these qualifiers, you know, we'd all put one base setup in the chat. Then we'd all, by the end of it, was all running complete different cars. And I think Red touched that on that on his. Like he said, they'd all start with the same, you know, base setup, and then they'd all end up with complete different stuff. So everything's different, especially on this game. I know, like on Heat 3, me and you could run identical cars, everything, dude, and we would fly with them. On here, we cannot run each other's cars, like at all. You know?
This game, the car is just different for me. Like, I'm still trying to figure it all out. Like, I can still build a great setup, but as far as Heat 3, you can just make that thing rotate and let the rear end hang out and yaw it out and carry that speed and not burn your tires off. But 5 laps on this game and your right rear is gone if you try to do that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, really, dude, you're strong everywhere still. Just Bristol, New Hampshire, and ISM. Those are really your only three
These
weak
short
points.
tracks are kicking my butt. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I worked my tail off to get top 24 at ISM.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
truck and me did not agree.
yeah.
But I pushed through it and I bettered my time day one. I think from day one to the last day, I think I gained about 3 seconds. So
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
big improvement. It was a lot of shutting the game off and getting my head straight and trying to
yeah.
come back and regroup and get it going. And it seemed like the harder I tried, the worse I got.
It's like that sometimes, though. But that's what makes us love it too. At the same time, you know, it's like you
That's a
hate it and
challenge for
get
sure.
off, and then 10 minutes you're like, man, I gotta get back on. I can't just let that
Yeah.
time stand, you know. So
No excuses when you're trying to do it for real, you know.
yeah, I agree.
You gotta put in the work or you're not gonna make it.
Yeah. So difference between this year's qualifying rounds versus last year. I think this year was
Well, I thank God that it's not like last year. That's all I can say.
yeah,
Last year, how many days did we do? About 40 some
yeah,
days
40
in a
days
row.
and nights, yeah.
40 different tracks, different cars.
Yeah.
That was rough,
No,
man. That
was
was
it
rough.
different
Trying to
cars
work a
or
full-time job, and I don't remember if they switched out of the Cup cars or not.
I
I
don't
don't
remember
think they
either.
did, actually. But it was rough, man. Working a full-time job and trying to do that every single day before midnight, staying up till midnight for the
Yeah,
board to reset and try to get a good run in and repeat for 40 days. It was tolling.
I agree. Like it was harder last year as far as days and stuff. But I think this year was definitely better because you actually had time to work on it. So you know, like you actually had time to not only try to make it better for the leaderboard, but make it your cars better for other races too, or future races. So that's what
I
I
really
liked
liked
about
how
it.
they did the times three versus the times one, too.
Yeah, I do
The
too.
times three is more of the, you gotta have a little more skill and
Yeah,
a better setup to last throughout the average about 15 laps a run. So, I mean,
especially Charlotte. I
yeah,
mean, at the end of them runs, we had
yeah.
what 3 laps of fuel left. I mean, it was basically full runs.
Well, I mean, I
I
had
seen
my
what's
car
close
so
too.
jacked up at Daytona that I blew a tire a few times. That's like unheard of to blow
Yeah,
a tire at Daytona. So I mean,
yeah.
we're pushing the boundaries of everything you can do to try to make that thing faster, and we finally figured it out.
We still didn't put together a good run, but we put a good enough one together. So with us,
Yeah, we definitely left some time out there, but we
yeah,
were
we did.
flying.
Yeah, we were. Really, the two big groups in PlayStation were flying. We put it to Xbox, I think.
Yeah. And
So
congratulations to Bear and them, man. They put up a dang good run. I didn't think
yeah,
they
they
were going to
did.
come close to that.
I ain't gonna lie, I watched it all the way to the last minute. Like I thought they were gonna.
I was
I
waiting
didn't
for them
think
to knock us off again
I
because
was
they were
too.
flying.
I didn't think anybody was gonna get close to it either. Honestly.
And the crazy thing is, we were faster with less cars than 10 or so. You know, we were faster with
Yeah.
6, 7 cars than we were with 10.
Yeah, I agree. 10, like
That
anything
just
over
shows you the
9, you
group
just
effort right there, honestly. And what about that last run? You get Beast up in the top 10. That was clutch.
yeah, it
Tribute
was.
run to Dale. If you haven't seen that, go check
That
OGR
was an
48's
awesome
page
video
out.
too. He put that music with it. It made it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm plugging you 48. Everybody go watch Evil OGR 48 on YouTube. Evil OGR underscore 48 underscore racing YouTube page. Go check it out.
Yeah, it's also posted on our Twitters and stuff too. So
Yeah.
definitely. What do you think about the different series next year? I do like the truck Eldora, but I think if we're gonna have different series, you need to have different series. You need to the people. So maybe take the top 14 guys you want in the Cup Series, take the second 14, put them in the Truck Xfinity Series, and so on. You know,
Hey,
don't.
if they're going to pay me to run a dirt car, I'll run a dirt car. I don't care.
I know what you're.
That's the way I look at it. I kind of understand what you're coming from. I would rather have it be one series, but I'm not really going to complain about it a whole lot. I mean, I would prefer to stay with the Cup cars, but it is what it is. I think eventually that's going to change once they get this Pro League rolling. I think they're probably going to end up having 3 different series, would be my opinion of it. But until that happens, I think they just want to kind of diversify the racing a little bit.
Yeah. I agree. I'm excited about that truck. If I'm hoping, because it says, like if you look at the schedule they put on there, on the NASCAR heat, it doesn't say the tracks. But if trucks are going to be on there, you're assuming there's going to be outdoor. Maybe not, but I think that would be awesome if they did put one on there. What do you think? Would you like to race trucks outdoor?
So yeah, definitely. I got a rocket ship.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
one
a
of my favorite
blast.
places in the truck. I love the road courses in the trucks. Um,
Canadian Tire's fun. I really
the
see.
short.
That's
I don't know if it
Rysack.
was. I don't know if it's just me, but the trucks feel way underpowered. Like they don't have the same rotation, and that's probably just because it's a truck, I guess. But I'm not really a huge fan of them, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the trucks just don't have enough butt up under them for me. I like something you can kind of drive with the throttle. In the trucks, you gotta drive more with the steering wheel, and if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a good one for you, Dagger. You've been in this position. This is something you can talk about to the people that don't make it this year. What happens when you perform well, like you did? You won 2 or 3 showcase races. I think the only one that had as many wins as I did in the showcase races, and not make it. What is the best advice you can give to the people out there listening?
Well, when I was watching the draft and I heard everybody's name getting rattled off, and I was just patiently waiting for them to say my name, and we get to, I think it was Chip Ganassi had the last pick, and I was like, yes, I love Kyle Larson, so yes, I'm
Yeah,
going Chip Ganassi, and they called Parker's name, and I'm like, man, I didn't get drafted, and reality kind of sets in, and you're upset, and you're disappointed because you just put in 40 days of hard work, and you got a lot of emotions because you care that much, And I mean, I really pushed myself as hard as I could to do the best I could, and I did, and I didn't get drafted, and it's heartbreaking because you put everything you got into it, And, and a lot of people this year, it's going to be even harder this year because you got set amount of drivers that's staying. So the spots are even more limited this year. So, I mean, you just got to stay positive. I know I tried to handle it as good as I could. I was truly disappointed. I mean, there I had a lot of support from the community. I had a couple hundred messages. I think, Dagger, how didn't you get drafted? This is crazy. You beat everybody in the showcase races 2 or 3 times, and it's
Yeah,
just like, I did what I could. It was all up to the teams, and that's just how. Once I accepted the fact that it's over with, it is what it is. I mean, I tried to support the pro league as much as I could without being negative. I said a couple negative things, but it really wasn't towards the pro league. It was about they picked a couple drivers based off their social media, and I'm not a big fan of that at all.
I agree
I
100%
mean,
with
it's
that.
all about if you want an actual racing league, make it about skill, about driving a car. Don't base it off of how many followers somebody has. I mean, yes, a couple of those guys improved drastically. I will give them 100% credit for that. They did better than I thought they would have. But as far as to get through all that, I mean, it's just time. I mean, it's a sour taste in your mouth when you put in that much work and it doesn't pay off. But I mean, that's the name of the game. Look how many great drivers there are out there, and there's for every driver that's in NASCAR right now, there's a better driver out there on a local Saturday night speedway that doesn't get the opportunity. And that's the way that I kind of went about it, and I just held my head high because I had nothing to hang my head about. I performed as good as you could do,
Yeah, I agree.
and I mean, it's still sour taste in my mouth right now, but it's over with. I got to look forward. You can't hang your hat on that. You can't look in the past. It's done and over with. I'm worried about this year. I'm going to try to repeat it all again, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and you've definitely done the work as all y'all, everybody has. I mean, I'm really interested. I mean, we all have pretty good idea. I feel like I have good idea who's gonna get an email. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of it's. I don't know. I'm interested to see it. I'm just glad I ain't got to run the showcase races. Hopefully, or I don't think none of the probably got to do. That was in season one, so I am thankful for that because that's a whole nother stress that sucks. It's like I think last year there was a lot more of them than there is this year, so that's nice. This year I believe it's 3 of them. Last year I think there was like
I think there was 5 last year,
5.
4 or 5.
I
I
know
think I
it's
won half, so I think there was 4. I think I won 2 back to back.
yeah.
I think I won. Well, they did do different series last year because we did trucks at Martinsville, we did
That's
Xfinity at
right.
Charlotte,
That's
and we
right.
did
Yeah.
Daytona and Xfinity. Or
Daytona
no,
was
that was
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Cup. Where was the other one at?
Oh, there was a Cup Martinsville one too.
Was
Because
there?
I remember Rowdy and Fed was leading it, and I ran them down because I think they were saving fuel. I don't know what happened. And I remember I ran out of fuel right in front of Fed, or something happened, and I got turned. I don't know, but I know we were at Martinsville Cup for sure. There was definitely
Yeah.
one there.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that get heartbroken this year because, like I said, the field's even more limited this year with teams being able to keep a driver,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a lot of good drivers get left out this year, and they can't hang their head on it because, I mean, it's all what the teams want. And I talked to Matt Lewis at 704 after the fact that all that happened after the draft, and he had words of encouragement, and I appreciate that. And he said it was just based off what the teams wanted, and
Yeah.
I had to. just respect that and move forward. I mean, I didn't play this NASCAR game. I took a couple months off. I ain't gonna lie. I was not too happy, but you know, it didn't take me long to get back on here and find my mojo again.
Yeah.
Do what you like. You do what you love and like, and it's not really work. It's just a matter of having fun. Even if the pro league wasn't around, we'd still be playing this game. So I mean,
And having a lot more fun.
yeah, it really killed the racing. I ain't gonna lie.
It just made it just
It
stressful,
killed the
so to
racing.
speak.
The league racing is still good, but like you can't. It's it's hard to explain.
Yeah. We still have a blast in Outlaw though. Pro League's
Yeah,
fun
we do.
too. It's all fun. It's just the preparation to get there each week is the part that's not fun. But
If there's not one guy in Outlaw that I would be surprised that didn't if they got drafted. I mean,
that's what
you could
I'm
throw a
saying,
blanket.
man.
You could
Like,
throw a blanket all over all of us, and I wouldn't be shocked if they took anyone. I mean,
yeah,
and I would be really happy for whoever that would be. I mean,
yeah. I mean, look at it, dude. Like, I know I say this a lot, but I won the Pro League championship and finished third in the Outlaw championship. So, I mean, that right there says a lot about our league, you know?
and I mean, it takes a group of guys that are really skilled to improve.
Yeah,
I mean, it really does. I mean, you can be a great racer, but if you're not constantly improving, then you're going to fall behind eventually. I mean, people with these setups, I mean, people are finding new stuff all the time where they can make stuff work, and if you get behind that 8 ball on that, then it's going to be a struggle to catch back up.
mm-hmm. I agree.
Especially in our league. I mean, if you're off a half a tenth, you're 7 seconds behind throughout a full fuel run. I mean, it's
Yeah.
there's been a couple tracks that'll be like, man, I got this default in or what?
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, go car.
Especially with how little
Uh,
cautions we have. After that last stage, it gets strung out. I mean,
Man, if
you
you're
got
not
to.
on your, you
Yeah.
make one mistake, it's tough to
Yeah.
regain that time.
I agree. So, after we
Yeah,
kind
anybody that doesn't get drafted, hang your head high, 'cause man, it is so tight. Even with MBN and Venom Racing and all the other leagues that are out there, I mean, there's so many good drivers, and there just is. I mean, I mean, look at Daytona. We what? I mean, like first through 20th was like half second. I mean, that's for 14 laps. That's throw a blanket over all of us, put us all on the line. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, nobody has anything to hang their head on. If you put in the work, I just hope you get the opportunity. It pays off for you, because I know what it's like to have that sour taste in your mouth, and I don't want anybody to experience that. But unfortunately, that's how it goes.
I agree. So we kind of already touched on this, but do you feel social media has as much as a value as it did last year?
I think last year, with being the inaugural season, they were trying to publicize it, get it out to people so they would tune in and watch. I think it had a lot to do with last year, just to get the NASCAR Heat name out there for the fans and everybody that was new to it, just to draw an audience, you know, because at the end of the day, it's about revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about supporting the teams involved, Motorsports Network coming in. I think this year it'll be more about your driving,
I do
honestly.
too.
And I hope it's that way. I really do. Um, I'm not trying to knock the people that have a big social media following or anything, but I think it should be based on your driving ability, not your followers.
I agree 100%, man. Really do. I feel like season 2 is going to be a lot more competitive than season 1. If it just, people's had experience with it already. They've had experience with the qualifiers for a second time, fixing to have a second year of showcase races. I just feel like the racing and competition of it was going to be a lot more intense this year. And
I think this game in general has brought the competition a lot closer together.
yeah,
As far as speed and lap time wise, I think the difference between this game and last game is it's a lot tighter.
yeah, because in the last game, it really he can drive the loosest car and hold the throttle to the
Well,
floor.
last game I just had the setups figure out where I could make that thing as loose as I wanted to, and I could just send it every
Yeah,
lap. And I never had to worry one time about a tire blowing or nothing. In this game, I went back and tried some of my old setups, and literally 3 or 4 laps, my right rear or my tire light was on.
yeah,
And I was like, wow, that's
yeah,
not gonna work. I mean, it'd be a great qualifying car or something, but I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely not a race car.
yeah. No, I think it's better, and I hope Heat 5, whenever it comes out, it even progresses further, because we always want better. We always find something to pick about, but they're trying, and they came a long ways. Like when Heat Evolution first came out, we couldn't even run setups, so
Yeah,
just
yeah. I mean, it's coming along. It's taking some time, but I think with Motorsports Network getting involved, and they have I think the president or the CEO of Motorsports Network originally came from Codemasters, and I'm pretty sure that Codemasters was part of Project Cars, and I think he's gonna implement some great things into NASCAR Heat 5.
yeah, same. So, that being said, roll into our last topic. Talk about Outlaw a little bit. What do you think about the first season of Outlaw? I thought it was pretty dang awesome, to be honest with you. I've had the most fun racing I've really ever had.
To be honest, it started out with a few guys and kind of blossomed into something amazing, really.
Yeah,
Um, the core group of the guys is just ridiculously fast.
yeah,
Like I
they are.
said, we could throw a blanket over all of us, and I wouldn't be surprised who came out in front, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um, for season one, Bulldog came through in the clutch and pulled out the victory at Las Vegas on the last lap pass, which was about as good as the way you can end the season, in my
yeah,
opinion. Um, yeah, I was thoroughly impressed, to be honest with you. I mean, met some new guys, created some great relationships, and the best thing I like about Outlaw is we all work together no matter what.
and we never argue and fight.
We don't argue.
There's never no
Everybody has their
drama.
differences from time to time, but I mean, we've never had a person get pissed off or,
Mm-mm.
I mean, just really mad or quit and
Yeah,
try to bash our league or, and I mean, we still have people now. I mean, like, if you haven't joined, go join our Discord, because we're giving setups out and trying to promote the Outlaw Nation, and we're doing a lot of good stuff over here. I've been really impressed with all the headway we've moved to, because at the beginning of the season, I mean, we didn't know what was going to come out of it, and
yeah.
then we go
No,
from barely broadcasting any races to having Zane broadcast races,
yeah,
which is awesome because he does a great job. He's got all sorts of camera angles. He's got great broadcasting skills.
yeah,
I mean, even if I don't do great in the race, I always go back and watch it just to try to improve.
yeah.
And just
See where
little
they're
stuff.
beating you
I
at.
mean, little stuff in our league goes a long way.
Yeah. We're getting there, especially, I mean, we haven't even been together a year yet, so the possibilities are endless, man, with this group, dude. And to be in the first season, already have 7, 8 guys in the conversation of getting drafted. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I wouldn't, like I said, for 3 or 4 times already, I wouldn't be surprised who it was that came out of our group. All of them are, from Jason to Beast to Chiza to 48 to
Yeah,
G Sensi to me to Bulldog to you. Dude, it don't matter. I wouldn't. Well, you're already probably staying, but all of them, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a full-time ride in the pro league. I mean, they're all competitive guys wanting. The best thing about our group is we're all competitive, but we all have the same goal. And at
Yeah,
the end of the day, it's to get better.
yeah,
And if you can't do that in the league, then you're just wasting your time.
yeah. I agree. 100%. So, anyways, that's pretty much that. We're getting better at the podcast. We're still learning this. We're just trying to get stuff out there. We definitely
Dagger's a
need
podcast rookie. I'm
to.
trying.
I'm still not good at it either. We definitely need to. We're working on getting a group laptop so we can get a little better podcast. We're doing the setup videos. They seem to be a help. Um, People have been messaging us saying they've been helping, so we're going to continue down that road. Just did one again. I've posted it a few times. Vegas Trucks is on the YouTube. It is a base for the showcase race at Vegas, if that's still a track. I'm telling you, it's a really good truck. Just fine tune on it, and you'll be right there. It's already running flats. That's only 3/10 off the leaderboard with a full tank of fuel, no drive. So go check that out. There's a couple other ones on there. I plan on doing. There was a couple people asking me for New Hampshire Xfinity, so I plan on getting that one out there tomorrow. Uh, so appreciate everybody watching. Good luck to everybody as people start to receive emails whenever in the next week. Hope to see y'all on the track. See y'all next time.